So, in my own self education, I had believed that there was something special, not really, I guess something special, with what they call easy water, exclusion zone water, the way water forms its layer, the tough layer on the top of water between water and other zones. And there's a lot of theorizing. I can't really call it theorizing other than guessing that it's H3O2 because this Dr. Pollock that did some research on uh, exclusion zone water had mentioned that it may form a uh, hexagon structure in its formation. Uh, Although it's completely theoretical, it's hypothetical. Actually, it's not really theoretical because there's no actual science behind it. There's an electric current running through everything on the entire universe, but water is very conductive and magnetic. It's dipolar. It has a positive side and a negative side. And the hydrogen, I believe the hydrogen, I'm not really 100% sure which side is positive or negative, but it's one of the reasons why water has a habit of aligning itself and forming certain shapes, because it's effectively a collection of magnets connected to each other. And that basically explains the exclusion zone properties of the water because in certain structures, especially when they're small enough, like in a cell, and that cell has bioelectrical interfacing and chemistry going on inside of it, it wouldn't be too surprising that a lot of the water within the cells would be uh, form exclusion zone formations. So I had brought up H3O2 as being life water to a friend of mine. He looked it up and he immediately found articles talking about it being a hoax. But I was skeptical of the information, which was a good thing because I started looking it up and I found that uh, most sides in the conversation were uh, questionable. It's like one group marketing one thing, another group marketing another. The alkaline water people opposing the easy water people. Uh, like Mercola he gets caught up in a lot of things, just like I get caught up in a lot of things, uh, because it's hard to be healthy or it's hard to stay healthy, especially with so many things, problems with food and drink and the air we breathe being filled with toxins that you want to get rid of. So it's easy to experiment with gimmicks and have those gimmicks seem like they're working, especially when you're doing many other things that actually work and not being able to tell which one's actually working or not. Especially when emotions get involved. And if it feels good emotionally, uh, sometimes that helps things work better in the body because that emotions are part of our biology. Regardless of all the pseudoscience of science, uh, it was very hard to find actual scientific studies on this. And I finally found one that was on WebMD's site. I downloaded it because it's a lot of times those things get taken down for not for any kind of conspiratorial reason, just because uh, uh, they change how they do things. Uh, they like having things on paper. That's a little more permanent, uh, like everyone should. But it's nice having easy to access references, uh, on the internet when they're reliable. So I did find this one site, and it has pages and pages and pages and pages of great information talking about easy water. And it seems like uh, there's nothing really special about creating easy water. It just creates itself. Uh, it's created naturally because of the structures of our body. Uh, Whether our body uses its nature or not, it probably does. It's like a natural lubricant. When the water's structured that way, uh, it helps things flow around it. Uh, it helps repel things because it helps fill in gaps of its own structure. So stuff dissolved in water would be repelled by the exclusion zone water, and maybe some other things wouldn't. It's hard to say because it's not a chemical thing. It's a magnetic thing. It's an electromagnetic kind of thing. And the body, since it's a natural forming structure, and it's not the same thing as structured water, although it is, and it isn't. Like there's the scientific terminology, and then there's the scam marketing use of those terms. So it's really hard to get down to the truth of it. But I did find this one site, and I'm gonna link it in the video so that other people can take a look at it and see how complicated actual auditing is. Real auditing, like stuff you have to go to college for, and stuff people in the IT field don't actually know is the IT field, uh, because they get all their information from college dropouts and other marketing type people trying to hype people up so that they can be sold to jobs a little bit better. So fun, fun, fun. Anyways, just figured I'd share. Uh, it's nice learning new things, that you might be right about, but you're not necessarily right for the right reasons because there's a lot of extra information added into it. Suffice it to say, easy water is created naturally in the body, in nature, and it's not anything that requires anything special. If the body needs it, uh, there's nothing special that's required to create it. It's created automatically uh, along the surfaces of the cells and inside the cells. So and whether there's benefits to it or not, it doesn't matter. You can't get rid of it. It's a natural. It occurs naturally, um, and there's nothing special that makes it occur. Uh, because the currents that help water line up the way it does exists throughout reality, and it's part of why chemistry happens at all, is the flow of energy and electrons and currents and magnetic fields and things like that. It's just a normal part of existence. Existence wouldn't exist without it. Everything that we see, biology couldn't exist without it. um, would it exist without existence? It's a chicken and egg thing. They both exist together all the time, constantly. So if you want easy water, know that it's already inside you, and it'll always be inside you. Regular water, once it reaches where the easy water exists, will become easy water because that's just what water does on certain surfaces and in certain environments. So it's completely automatic. There's no way to not create it where it needs to be or where it normally occurs. So You don't need to get it from other living things. As soon as that water is exposed to a non-surface environment, it breaks down into regular water because it's a magnetic thing. It's because water's dipolar. The experiments have all been done. you know, the Yeah, the experiments have all been done, and most of it has been documented in the link at the uh, at the site that I got the information from. Anyways, love y'all. Good luck.